What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob 007 channel coming to you from an invigorating, chilly Venice Island. Got to 32 on the real, feels like down in the low 40s. Definitely a fun day down at the beach, 5 out of 5. And the title of this episode, I have no idea. We'll get to it when I start to edit it, because this is just basically winging today's episode. Had one of those months and starting out the last month and it continues on to this month. It's just like, wow. So anyway, so we're going to wing because I definitely wanted to get one out. And also a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Anything on this channel is for educational entertainment purposes only. And thank you as always. We're climbing up to 8,000 subs. Appreciate each and every one of you. I so love this space. So indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notification, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for a Taco Tuesday. And tomorrow we're going to have Caleb and Brown on this channel. It will probably air later in the evening, like 6 p.m. Florida time, somewhere around there, with none other than Jim Balzini. Look forward to having him on this channel to discuss all the great updates with Caleb and Brown. Absolutely love them. So if you have a question for them, now's the time to put it in the comments below, and we'll try to get to as many of them as you can. So if you've thought about it and you had some kind of thing that was keeping you from doing it, leave a question. Jim will answer it. Love those guys. They'll be on tomorrow. And also don't forget about the fine folks at iTrustCapital. They are also just unbelievable. They have 0 fees for custody, 1% only on the execution of trades. And then also they will be bringing out an ROI for your XRP coming in the near future. And also the best little thing I like about it, you get a Ben Franklin, yes, $100 for a signing bonus when you sign and fund your account. So some of you guys haven't funded your account, just fund it, and then that's where you will get that $100 and is the little signing bonus. And also Kraken, love my folks at Kraken. I trade on them almost every single day. They sweeten the pot. You can get up to $150 when you create an account over there. And yes, I really like that exchange. They're doing some great stuff too. And part of also just kind of orchestrating as we move into this new regulations of crypto and this new financial world with blockchain technology. And last but not least, ROI on your XRP. Could not be any happier. I'm locked and loaded for the ride up. So if you have thought about it, have questions about it, email me your name and number and a good time to call you. And please be patient. I'm got backlogged and reaching out to you guys. And again, my favorite because it's the highest place for institutional grade custody you can possibly get. And so I really sleep so good at night. So we're going to kind of get down to like the quick little updates first, and then I'm kind of going to go through maybe some highlights from yesterday. But let's just get down to the stuff that's moving the needle for me. We'll begin with the Kwok brothers up on X. Per the Rob report, shout out to you, Rob. He's saying that how the Kwok brothers say that they are bringing utility to XRP like you have never seen before, and they have some really exciting. They're really doing some exciting stuff. So anticipate an announcement. I think that they're going to break the mold. They're doing some groundbreaking stuff, and it's just indicative of this market. You got so many things, so many players being worked on. It's just too deep, and I probably will jump into that later this week on how many different places we're making a dent in this universe. And also, the CEO of Canary Capital was on. Paul Barron's podcast, and a great interview, and actually just kind of cut to the chase. He was talking about, of course, the Solana ETF with a really huge success, but he thinks XRP is going to be twice to three times the success of the Solana token for two reasons, even though it only has a 50% more market cap. One is that the Solana is considered, that was highly successful for him, but it's more relatable to the retail segment. And then they brought out an HBAR ETF. It was a huge success. And they said the reason why, all the banks and financial institutions, they were familiar with HBAR being part of the financial system going forward. So that's why the bankers and so forth, the ones that were gobbling up and the accredited investors, he expects the exact same thing to happen with your XRP. I've been saying that for weeks as well on this channel, just saying, you know what? I said, when they start to smile and dial, I said, they know what's going on in the background in terms of the reset. And they're going to say, yeah, it says, not financial. Well, it is financial advice because they are financial advisors. But they're going to talk about the top three, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And then the people will see the prices of those three and say, which one? And then they're going to say, yeah, here is why we like this one. It's going to be part of the core of the financial system moving forward. And so that's another big, huge catalyst. And expect the first one to come out on Thursday. So excited to get the Canary Capital one out on Thursday. And by the way, that is the 2-year anniversary for BlackRock, saying that there was filed for an XRP spot ETF, and then they said, oops, that was a mistake. So what happens then? But so excited, and just keep it now, between Thursday and the end of the November, we're going to have all 9 spot ETFs. The Fidelity one comes out on the 18th. I'm going to do some numbers on Fidelity because they are huge. They could really make a dent in this place. So the 18th will be a week from today on Tuesday. And then also we all know that the shutdown is going to be over. Expect it for the government to open up on Thursday. So that's going to be so exciting. We have this perfect storm of, we'll have enthusiasm. And with that gets what? That Clarity Act seems to be moving along oh so fast. We're talking it could potentially, rumored that we could have this signed into law by the end of this month, perhaps. Or maybe, like I said, for my dead drop date, December 12th. So somewhere between maybe as early as next week to December 12th, I think it's going to be ushered in really quick. And the thing I'll be looking at like a hawk is when that active date begins. I cannot wait to announce when that is. And then so also, but this is also to really take note. Darren Moore Jr., if you follow him, I've been following him for some time now. Love his content. He's one of the smartest people when it comes to blockchain technology and XRP. I think he's probably been a holder for years. Well, lo and behold, that his ledger was hacked. And it just broke my heart when I heard it. And then the first thing I thought to myself is, I hope he had more than one ledger. And come to find out, he actually had the bulk of all of his XRP on that ledger, Nano. And it was drained. And then he had just a little bit remaining on the exchanges. I think he is getting some help. But there you go. There's a lesson to be learned there when it comes to, and I always say, you know what? I'd rather have custody and have to pay for that custody than to have that. I'd rather have 98% or 99% of 100% of my XRP than to have 0% of, have 100% of 0 XRP because you got hacked. So that's why the likes of where I get my ROI, that's institutional grade, whether you get it from Caleb and Brown, whether you get it from iTrust, and you can still keep it on a cold storage. But I always tell people is at least diversify over multiple wallets if you're going to do cold storage. In case one gets hacked, you got 2 others left. So I'd recommend, not financial advice, at least 3. Now, in quick order, let's kind of go over what we had left from the other day. Really exciting just to think about the goldfish in the goldfish bowl, how big those goldfish are going to be gobbling up your XRP when you compare Robinhood at $12,000 per portfolio versus a Charles Schwab at $330,000. Unbelievable. So I feel like we're going to have 200 plus goldfish swimming around with us when we're 20 goldfish. It's kind of put in size. And yeah, also let's just kind of take a look again what the price is going to do in short order with those ETFs. How fast will we push up? One of the other things I saw on X, which is really neat kind of considering this, is that with those ETFs, the XRP will really skyrocket to 10 really fast. And then guess what? Maintain 10, and 10 becomes the new base floor. That would be absolutely music to my ears. Let's see how quick that will happen. Again, I have high expectations for the end of this month, anywhere between, let's just say, on the low end 7 to 8, but easy 10 to 15 if we get these things that happen in sequential order. And then also on the high end 20 to 27 to $30 for those ETFs. Yeah, and then again, the timing on this is all beautiful, and just keeping as well. We may have quantitative easing begin the beginning of December, not that far off. And don't forget about the rate cuts. I think a quarter basis point, baked into the cake, but we could see as high as a 50 basis point. And now we are only 11 days from November 22nd, that ISO 222 date. What happens on that date? I have no clue. I'm not even going to guess there, but I do know it goes live. Let's see if we have some price markup on this day. That is only 11 days away. We could have a Thanksgiving day like none other we have ever witnessed in this, and for us being XRP holders over no matter how long that you have been holding XRP. So worth repeating. Now that the government shutdown's open, I expect that Ripple license to be approved. And what's going to be so exciting is the announcements that come to follow afterwards to see how much we might be tied into the likes of Swift and FedNow, and just to be our own bank and stuff. So that's going to be really great. Don't forget about Ripple Prime, i.e. Hidden Road. I expect that we should see some action on that, and some other, as one thing that we did find out is that there's been 3 times the volume up on growing Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime, since they came on board. So, all right, let's see if I got anything else. Yeah, the other thing that's kind of really neat with the Clarity bill that did come out and surface out, it looks like that crypto digital assets are going to be underneath the purview of the CFTC, and they regulate commodities, whereas SEC regulates securities. That is a thing of beauty. This is what we've been waiting for, this type of clarity for the last 5 years as we have been in the space with a boot on our neck with the lawsuit. Alt season, by the way, it's 100% here. Worth repeating how Zcash went from $55 to $700 in 30 days. So alt season's just knocking on the door. A lot of indicators, including the XRP Bitcoin charts. Still talking about Uncle Trump doing that 2000 stimulus. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Really, that would also just be like really a great, just think what it would do to the markets and where that might go. And a little TA down by the beach, I didn't have any time to do that today. And the current price, I have no idea on that one either. And let's see as we wind up. No comments for today. I'll squeeze in from some comments tomorrow. But I tell you, between now and the end of the year, and think how far away we are from the end of the year now, just about like 50 days till the end of this year. Where will the price of XRP? Comment down below. I want to know what you think. I have my fund targets that I have short term of 20, another end of year by $100, and then yes, of course, my $500 XRP anywhere between end of March and end of June, based on a quote unquote, let's just say banks using it for large wholesale payments. That'll do it for me, everybody. Again, put your comments down for Caleb and Brown. We'll get them out to Jim tomorrow. See you in the next episode. Peace out.